Hi friends, this is Alejandra from the Orland Park Public Library. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Geekerella, a novel by Ashley Poston. This is the first book in a series called the Once Upon a Con series, and each book follows a different set of main characters, and each book is a different fairy tale retelling. There are currently 2 books published, and the third one is being released later on in the year. The first book, like I said, is Geekerella, and it is a retelling of Cinderella, if you could guess. The second book is The Princess and the Fangirl, that is a retelling of The Prince and the Pauper. And the third book, like I said, is being released later on in 2020, and it'll be a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So we start off with Geekerella, and this really sets the stage for the other books. And the main thing in this book overall is Starfield, which is kind of the equivalent of Star Wars to us. It is a story that takes place in the galaxy. There are books, there are movies. The fandom is incredibly alive and just so interested in everything Starfield, and that is how we meet Elle. And like I said, Starfield is the thing that connects all of the books. It is also the main thing in the second book, and I'm assuming it'll also be the main thing in the third book. So Elle is a Starfield blogger, and she is our Cinderella. So if you could guess, she's got, her stepmother, her stepsisters, not a whole lot of friends. She's not super happy with her life. And she does eventually meet the prince. So she's a Starfield blogger, like I said, and the main thing she's blogging about right now is a new Starfield movie being released later on in the year, and she is very critical of it. She doesn't like a lot of the decisions they've made. She's not very happy with the casting choice for Prince Carmendor, who is the main character in the book, and he is played by Darian, who is the other main character in the book. So they kind of have this relationship even before they meet each other. She's blogging about, his movie, his acting skills, him, criticizing him in the role, and Darian only knows that there's a blogger criticizing him without even watching the movie, without knowing whether or not he is the perfect Prince Carmendor. So they kind of have this thing going before they even know each other or meet each other. And then there is a ball. It's called Excelsior, which is kind of like Comic-Con. And Elle and Darian both meet there, and that's where things continue taking off. And it is full of traditional Cinderella references with a twist. So the little food truck on here is actually the magic pumpkin that takes her to the ball. And both of these books are just full of pop culture references that are specific to Starfield, and then things that we also just would understand and maybe say or do or see in our normal regular lives. So they're fantastic books. They're super funny. They're very light reads, but they do still have really touching moments. They are still really romantic and just so much fun to read and invest yourself in the life of these different characters. And like I said, here is where we meet the main characters for book number 2, and in book number 2, we meet the main characters for book number 3. So that's kind of cool. They do still appear in each of the other books. They are still kind of intertwined in each other's lives, but I think it's really fun to follow people that you've met and different people through this entire series. And it is a very diverse cast. There are a lot of different characters, a lot of different backgrounds, which is just so interesting to read, and it just really does give it this really modern feel. And these books are also LGBTQ friendly, which again just helps make it more modern, something more relatable, and she does it in such an easy way that these are currently some of my favorite books, and I cannot wait to read the third book. And each of these books actually has 2 points of view. So it does have both of our main characters, and if you read the book, then you'll see that you're reading both of their voices. But if you listen to the audiobook, then you can actually hear the 2 different narrators reading the different parts, and that just makes it come alive just that much more. So if you're interested in these, I would highly recommend them. They are currently some of my favorite books. Fairy tale retellings in general are some of my favorite books, but this is just so different, and it takes such a lighthearted and modern approach. I keep saying modern, but that's just how it feels with all these pop culture references, and there's a vegan food truck on the front, and it's just fantastic. It's a really great read, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Thanks, guys. Bye.